Hey guys, Carey Hodsden PGA here at X Golf Chesapeake, hopefully with a few more words for the golf swing. Did I say that right? How about words of wisdom for the golf swing? That would even be better. I promised that I would give you guys a kind of an idea on a secret to striking the golf ball, okay? I'm going to do this from the right hand, you left-handers out there, which has been really amazing. I've had here at X Golf Chesapeake, I've had probably in the last couple of months, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 left-handers come in for lessons, and tremendously underserved community, I think, and I've had a really good time swinging with them and doing lessons with them. It gives you a very different perspective, and it's easy to mirror them when I stand in front of them, so it's almost easier to teach in a way. But have really enjoyed that. There are certain feels that you can create in the golf swing that help you strike the golf ball more solidly. And I think that a lot of folks, when they're getting lessons or when they're playing golf, they're kind of swinging the golf club and they're hoping that their own self-taught swing or the golf instruction that they're getting from their local golf professional or their swing guru, or if they're traveling somewhere to get lessons or whatever have you, they're hoping that their golf swing will just work, automatically, so that they don't have to think. Now, all of us are hoping that, and I mean, I'm even hoping that, but I understand that I have to make it work. I can't hope that it's gonna work, okay? I've got a tool here in my hands. This is just a tool, just like a screwdriver or a hammer or a sledgehammer or a saw or whatever have you. It's just a tool, okay? So if you think about things like baseball or tennis or badminton or hockey or highlight or whatever, they're all basically sort of stick and ball games in a way, okay? And what you need to do is you need to use whatever that tool is to project the ball. Golf is really the only sport where I've ever seen people take the tool and swing and hope that some magical thing's going to happen and they're going to hit the golf ball because they just got a lesson, or because they saw something on the internet, they think they got it or whatever, or when they just first start and they first pick it up, they walk up to the golf ball and they just think that I'm going to just automatically hit this with my golf swing. That's not the way it works. The biggest difference between golf and the other sports is we're more disconnected from the thing that we're holding on to hit whatever we're trying to hit, okay? And with a golf swing, we've got a 3-foot stick here with literally the sweet spot's about 1 inch wide, okay? So I want you to really think about that. You've got 3 feet of arm, 3 feet of club, and with a driver, it's like 4 feet of club, almost, okay? And you're trying to hit a spot on a flat piece of metal that's connected to your club that's 1 inch wide, top to bottom and side to side. That's not easy, okay? So you have to be able to see yourself do this. You can't just hope it's gonna happen. You gotta feel it, which means you've gotta develop the feel, and you've gotta feel in your mind's eye, where is that club behind me, okay? Where is it gonna be when it comes down to hit the golf ball? I mean, we've all been there. You watch people, the first time they get up to go hit a golf ball, they'll get up to go hit the golf ball and they'll literally go like this. And they'll try to hit it in all these different ways and they can't hit it, okay? They've got to think about this thing as a tool. You got to think about it like a hammer and a nail. The ball's the nail, the club is a 3-foot long hammer, in paddle form on the end of a stick, right? So you've got to feel where that club's going to come down, and you've got to feel the weight of the club in your hands, okay? So to develop that feel and to actually feel like you're going to strike the ball, Most people think, okay, well, I'm going to go to my swing coach, and my swing coach is going to teach me how to swing, and I'm just going to automatically hit the ball better. And that can happen. I mean, that can happen sometimes. But what really needs to happen is that your coach needs to tell you exactly what it feels like to hit the golf ball, what it feels like in both hands, what it feels like in your arms, what it feels like in your shoulders, your wrists, your elbows. What does it feel like for your hips to move, your back, your knees, your feet? I mean, how does it feel in each one of these spots? Now, to become a great golfer, you're going to need to learn all that. I mean, you just don't have a choice. You've got to understand it. You've got to understand what's going on with your body. Otherwise, you're not going to, get over that hump. To become a weekend golfer, you don't need to do that. I mean, you don't need to understand everything, but you do need to understand how to strike the golf ball, what it feels like in your hands, okay? You've got to figure that out. The arms, there's a million different ways to get back to the golf ball, okay? And like more modern swings, or in between modern and classic swings, and more classic swings like the one I use, they all work to some degree, okay? I think that the type of swing that I'm teaching, or that I like to teach, the classic swing, I think it works a little bit better because it's a little bit more consistent, a little bit easier once you learn it. But the biggest thing about it is how your hands come into the golf ball. We need to know how that works. What does that feel like? Okay, so there are levels of feeling this, okay? And there are levels of success that you can have with it. What it looks like to you, to your eyes in slow motion, when you're practicing it and you're sitting here and you're going, okay, I'm going to come in like this, I'm going to come in like this, and you can see my club is facing you, and you're thinking, well, how the hell are you going to hit that? The ball's going to go straight right. It's going to go straight at the camera. But that's not what's going to happen because you're rotating. So if I come in like this and I feel this, I'm going to see this as I'm in static position, but as I rotate, okay, then the club's going to square itself. So those are the little things you got to think about. More importantly is you got to figure out what are the feels in your hands. I've talked to you guys already about how the last three fingers in your left hand, okay, and the pad of your left hand here sits on top of the club, and these last three fingers, just like Hogan had it, okay, like Ben Hogan did it, and Jack Nicklaus and other great players. This is where you're kind of firm, okay? You're kind of holding this kind of firm. Now your wrist and everything else that you have in your whole body is soft, okay? But you will feel a little pressure here in your arm, the outside of your arm and underneath. You will feel some pressure there, okay? And that's okay. Your right hand, it's these middle two fingers, okay? So these two fingers right here are what's gonna do all the work. Not only are they gonna do all the work with kind of the strike, or what it's gonna feel like all the work with the strike, they're gonna help your left hand do what it needs to do through the strike as well, okay? It'll also help you on your backswing, getting into the right position, okay? Look, most of us that swing right-handed, not all of us, but most of us that swing right-handed are right-handed, right? Most of us that swing left-handed are also left-handed. Now, there are those rare occasions, like Mickelson, I think, swings left-handed, he's right-handed, okay? Probably helps him quite a bit because his right hand is probably stronger, all right? We're taught on the other hand, to, if you're right-handed, let me put this in the trail side, lead side vernacular so that we can understand a little bit better. Most of us are taught that our lead side is what leads the entire golf swing, okay? And it does in a way, but the strike is done on your trail side. Period. End of story. When you can learn how to use your lead side along with your trail side to strike, now you've got something. Now you've got something really, really good. Something that can be done at a very, very high level and consistently, okay? But to learn how to strike at the beginning, you need to be using your trail side to strike the golf ball, okay? So how does that happen? This is how it happens. We take these two fingers right here, these middle two fingers of our trail side, and we get them on the golf club, And those two fingers and your palm are gonna squeeze the thumb of your left side, okay? And they're probably, it's really more like they're gonna squeeze the club itself, okay, a little bit. And then the other part is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this part of my first finger, not the finger itself, but just under it, is going to help me secure these two fingers, okay? So these two fingers in the middle and this part of my palm or index finger leading to my index finger, okay? So those things are going to secure it. So when I get my hand on my grip, when I'm going through, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling right here, that's how I'm going to hit the golf ball. I'm also feeling that that's helping me get into my more cupped around position here, okay? My left hand does it here with the last three fingers, and we get a little pressure out here. And my right hand does it here, okay? And then my wrists and everything relax. But I've got this thing now in my hands. This thing ain't, this club's not going anywhere, okay? I'm not death gripping it, but I've got it firm enough that it's not going anywhere. But my wrists are supple. My forearms are supple. My elbows, my shoulders, my chest, everything is supple, it's relaxed, okay? And that's the way it just needs to be. So we're gonna get set up and we're gonna go through our normal golf swing, and as we come in, as we're getting ready to come in right through here, and we're gonna move all the way over to our left, and this is very, very important. You need to watch some of these other videos, okay? The pillars is a good video to watch. The slot around here is a good video to watch. And kind of the keeping your hands close to your body and hand path video, which I just did recently. That's going to be important for you to watch. This will kind of tie everything together for you. But when you go through this area and you're swinging off to your lead side here, and we're going through the golf ball, we're swinging off to our lead side, I feel like that I'm hitting the golf ball with, I've got my finger here, I've got my bottom pad, my middle pad, my top pad, and on the other side of my fingers I've got these two knuckles here, okay, that are going to be around the golf club. I try to hit the ball with those two knuckles, period, okay? So these two fingers, these two knuckles right here are what I try to hit the golf ball with. Odd feeling, but I'm telling you, it works like you can't believe, okay? All you've got to do is trust, get into the golf ball from the inside. You know, I told you, we like to swing from a 45-degree angle in here, and then we change directions, and we swing to a 45-degree angle over this way. And if you're doing this right, your elbow's in front of you, and these knuckles are going to be what hits the golf ball and creates that amazing extension through impact, okay? This is, for lack of a better word, it's a secret to ball striking, okay? In a perfect world, to strike it well, on your trail side, when you get to the top of your backswing and you move over to your left pillar here, you're going to reconnect your elbow to your side, to your belt buckle or your belt here, okay, your hip. You're going to reconnect coming from the inside a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to swing all the way around over to where that X golf sign is over there, okay? And you're going to do it, and you're going to push your knuckles through the golf ball through impact. Connection, drive with your hips over to the left side, hit with your right knuckles. Okay, this is kind of, let's call this 201 versus 101 type instruction. Let's call this 201 instruction with ball striking. 301, moving it up a notch, is going to be getting here and relaxed, doing the same type of motion as we're going through, all the way through here, and we're going to hit with these knuckles here in the exact same way, and the back of our left hand right here. Okay, so this is our fingers now, below these knuckles on our left hand, the top of our fingers and these knuckles, the main knuckles of our left hand. Okay, so basically we're hitting with all these knuckles through the golf ball to make the strike. This is no different from a baseball player doing the exact same thing. The pitch comes in from a baseball player, and the baseball player's soft over here. They step into the pitch, right? And then they rotate their hips, and then they throw their knuckles at the ball. Okay? Bang. So if the ball's coming in low, they're coming in this way. If the ball's coming in high, they're coming in this way. Their knuckles are going at the ball. No different in golf. Now, we don't hear anybody talk about this, but it's identical. The golf ball's just sitting there, though. You don't have to like move up and down to try to hit it. It's sitting right there every time. You can do it exactly perfectly every single time. You just have to practice it. It's not even difficult. Okay? So, once again, when we come in, a baseball player comes in here, knuckles out because he's going to be wherever the ball's coming in. Golf, knuckles down because that's where the ball is. Okay? And that's what we're going to try to hit with. All right? So hopefully it'll look something like this. Very good. So we can get it way out there and really, really project the ball. And as you get better and better and better at it with hitting with both this part of your left hand and these knuckles of your right hand, the better you get at it, the farther it's going to go, the more speed you're going to get, the more accuracy you're going to get, the more spin you're going to get. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Okay? So we're going to call this lesson, we'll call it the secret to ball striking with the trail side. Okay? And I'm Carey Hodsden PGA over here at X Golf Chesapeake. Thanks once again for watching. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Hit them long and straight until I do. Take it easy.